Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology Replay. Spawn on top left side as the blue Freyr. We have SoloJebachOnly, whatever that means. Spawn on the right side as the... for some reason I lost track of the villagers. Spawn as the red set. We got Zodiac _ We got some cows. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. Cows who I think have a higher fattening rate as well. Actually, no, the fattening rate's the same, but they can store more delicious food inside of them. It's best to go for the resources on the field as long as you can. And speaking about food, looks like Red will obtain some delicious venison here. When it comes to relics, we do have the possible relic of the Anvil of Hephaestus, or how to pronounce that. Army upgrades get minus 50% gold cost, which is, I think, a Age 4 mythological improvement. That's a very good one. Trojan Gate Hinge. Walls have 40% hit points, which is situationally useful, because a lot of times for me, it seems like walls are either alive or dead, not really in between, but it can be very nice, don't get me wrong. Cathara of Apollo. Those gives plus 10% movement speed, very useful. And down south, we do have the Hectate's Torches, which reduces the cost and recharge time of your god powers. This is going equally slow. Red could try bring back the venison, help him out. The DPS, the Berserk or the Old Stark is 9, and the Pharaoh's being brought on forward to help deal with this. And it is going for heal around damage, which is probably a better option. So he will save the priest there. The priest, has a 0.6 DPS versus 0.9 DPS in Age 1. My apologies, I don't know their DPS to Age 1 because, let's be frank, units are not usually... Oh. Set has actually aged up, I just now realized that. And bring in some spooky snakes as well as the Vision God power. Blue is just now aging up. Galen Bersetti is a divine hero type, not a myth unit, so these heroes will not do any bonus damage to them. There's the snakes. They do a minus 90% damage versus villagers, so they do approximately 0.5 damage per attack. Before hack armor, how much do villagers do have in hack armor? 25%? That's actually decent. Dwarves the same rate. Oh, I hear the new biting some villagers. Got some good hits there, and we've got a decent menagerie behind the Anubite. Though, in my opinion, it's better to eat these animals. They're getting one shot from the town center. And that's actually delivered a decent amount of food to his opponent's doorstep. Particularly that doorstep right there, that house's doorstep. There's Age up for blue. We got a Valkyrie. The priest, of course, can do some bonus damage here. We also got a priest here to do some bonus damage here. The Anubite's engaging the All-Starks. All-Starks do take out the priest there. The Valkyrie do take a bit of damage. He will need to put on another Valkyrie to get the Valkyrie healed on up. The Hyena's a bit more the combat unit as opposed to the Deers and Gazelle. The Hyenas do have her a staggering 3.9 hack damage. Yeah, most of Set's animals, it's a nice little benefit. But it's... Oh, looks like the snakes are not classified as heroes, so the Hussars actually got ripped... The Herseer got ripped apart by the snakes. That's a little bit of a gain there. The Valkyrie can stay back there and start hitting up these Herseers, and the Valkyrie's getting hit. And got a spam bot on kick. There you go. Got that removed from existence. And the serpents do go down. They're just migrating over to another delicious piece of venison, or in this case, elk. Is elk still considered venison, or is that just only deer? For me, all the extra animals, they're nice for defense, but I would advise to use them offensively, because they don't have much health to be meat shields, even though they have meat in them to be a meat shield. Yeah, I put very little value in the animals as set. I just use another food source, a free food source to age up with to get some, easy access to food. They do consume one population, so not like you can just keep them around forever, but of course the housing is free for the Egyptians. Husbandry just got researched by Red, so now the scouts are rounding up at the same rate as goats and sheeple. And these snakes did a lot more damage than I expected. I usually don't put much value into them, but they can occasionally pick off a single Herseer. Keyword occasionally. Do now have Red now pulling out for town center. Pharaoh empowering it as well. We've got these dogs doggies nearby. That's actually sort of the nickname for cows. I don't know how it came about. I know it's something involving cowboys. That's rolling. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. My dad listened too much country. It's not gotta keep those doggies rolling. Keep those doggies rolling. My dad listens to much country music. He's from Kentucky. He was a hillbilly from Kentucky. Flatwoods, Kentucky, and he made sure I did not to grow up to be like him. For example, he did not want me to be hitchhiking on the back of trains, for example. Yeah, or dynamite fishing. Yeah, when I say Hillbilly Lands of Kentucky, I mean Hillbilly Lands, Kentucky, that he made sure I did not to grow up be like him. Got the baboon of Set, the field of 93 delicious food. As well as got the deer of Set. It contains 150 delicious food inside of him. And these animals do full damage versus villagers. If you consider 3 or 2.7 DPS full damage. Yeah, I don't put any real value into the animals of Set. It's a pile of food that can easily be eaten. And that's it. But I probably should stop harping on that. Red's going for some axemans because most of the composition of the Norse is infantry, which means axemen would be very useful. If you're concerned about cavalry, spearmen, you ready to go. Slingers have a way to can't be countered by axemen or throwing axemen, but they would be very limited in that aspect. So slingers should be something you should minimize, but not necessarily should take off the table as Egyptians. Axemen should be the good counter, but of course you have to be careful of the throwing axemen, which also counts the axemen, because after all, axe does counter axe. Since they're in the economic boom phase, or economic phase, I'm going ahead and fast forward a little bit. Got more Herseers and Valkyries. And more housing there. Overall, I think chariot archers is a pretty good option for the Egyptians versus the Norse. While they can't counter infantry, can't counter cavalry, they at least can counter basically all the infantry. Barring, of course, the Gobi. I always forget the Gobi do also exist. They are, of course, not existing in Gold Edition. And remember as well, Extended Edition, the Norse got... No, it was the... One of these civilizations got a unique catapult variant in the Extended Edition. Was it Norse or the Atlanteans? I remember in Gold Edition, the Fire Siphon was basically a melee. It didn't have very much range to siege on buildings, if I remember correctly, and I think they turned into a ranged siege weapon since the destroyers also filled their aspect of close range siege weapon, like the Heliopoli or the battering ram, portable battering ram. Valkyrie raid here. Got a single priest here, not actually properly engaged. Got another priest here. Priest trying to smite the Valkyries. They're actually a bit more of a soft counter than Myth units, rather than a hard counter. Since their base damage is not too high, and the multiplier is high times 5, but with a low base damage multiplier, they're just only okay in divine damage. Red is now aged on up. Blue has queued up Ager. Red has aged up to Nephitus, which I believe gives you an upgrade to give you gold upon death for some of your units. Yeah, let me just take a quick look. I always forget some of the stuff. Set. Let's see, gold upon death. Here, priest work rate and priest and pharaoh bonus damage. You also get the powerful ancestors god power. You also get out 5 delicious giraffes, which contains 300 food. And the other animal is the Crocodilio of Set. It just doesn't contain as much food. It's supposed to be more the combat unit. Lose quotation marks of combat. Blue has currently 1 villager queue going. Nope, does have 2 villager queues going. 2 town centers versus 2 town centers. Both players have skipped their safe town center and went for their opponent's not so safe town center. Spearman trying to stab the Ulfsark. There's also Axeman here. Need a bit more resources before Blue can age on up. Needs a bit more food, but pretty close to getting that.
Yo.
Yep, both players still just an age up phase, or not age up phase, the economic phase. Agers now being researched. We also got a Horus being researched. So the Avengers are ready to be deployed on the field. They will spin to win. Also get the Twister. The more I realize, the Twister is actually a bit not necessarily anti-structure, but more anti-army god power, since they can take out a group of tightly clustered infantry quite well. I think the Twister is probably one of the weaker of the god powers in Age 4, honestly. Excuse me. Because the counterparts would be Meteors, Implosion, Lightning Hera's Thunderstorm, as well as Inferno and Earthquake, which those are more... Yeah. Twister, I think, yeah, like I said, is the weakest of all of them. Also, I wish they added a cheat god power. I don't know if they... I'm surprised if they actually did, because I never really looked at cheat code god powers. They need to add a Sharknado variant. If anime can do it, so can Age of Mythology can. The Warden Gate is being hacked apart by an axe. After all, it is made of wood. Blue's going for another town center now. Red has a decent force here, including a Scorpion Man and the Avenger. Destroys those wall segments, no problem there. Blue's making his advance, has 1 catapult for siege. The Scorpion Man only has hack damage, same as the Avenger. Oh, the Scorpion Man actually has decent base damage, but 38 DPS. The Avenger has 28 DPS. 600 health, 60% hack armor. You know, the Scorpion Man is quite similar to the Avenger, though the Avenger does have a far more powerful special attack, the Spin to Win. Ulfsark does go down there. Oh, that was a horrible spin to win. I guess he's very excited to see that Ulfsark dying. But now these Herseers hacking apart this wooden wall. You have a Migdal stronghold being established for defense. We also got some watchtowers here as well. Migdal stronghold still taking a bit of time. We got some animals here. They're used, like I said before, and they're also probably decent with defense because they go down here, at least they can still be eaten. We also got some mercenary cavalry. Apparently when they died, they also applied a bit of a gold rebate. Not much, 8 gold versus 120 gold. Just a bit of a rebate. Got some Jarls from Thorfield, great Jarls, that's the heavy Jarls. Avenger does spin to win, here comes the Tempest. Gillen Bassetti's from Sunswell, that's an HP Gillen Bassetti, it's probably pretty useful. We got a Ancestor being Sunswell. I just find Tempest a little bit too powerful god power. I think one to nerf Tempest is not to make it so it doesn't slow down or apply any debuffs to heroes. Because right now the Pharaoh is quite slowed down. So Twister, but the Ancestor is being very useful. The Gillen Bassetti has been slayed. Blue has been forced back. Got a pair of Migdal strongholds before the defense there. Not bad idea. The Avenger is taking some damage. Maybe the priest can take time to heal the Avenger in combat. And here comes the Twister. Twister does hold the army decent free. Maybe the Twister can be a controllable unit as a way to buff the Twister, because it feels like a little on the weaker side, a little less controllable. Sort of like the particle beam from Command & Conquer General, or the what's it called? Psystorm from Dawn of War 3. Or the rocks from Dawn of War 3. We do have some more spearmen being employed in the field. He knows his opponent's going for a heavy amount of cavalry, so that he's going for some spearmans. Right now they are medium spearmans, not even heavy spearmans. And we got some large number of portable battering rams, heavy huskarls being employed in the field. But she's fighting against not any range units, so I guess I suppose there's some chariot archers. The Avenger's still alive as well as the Scorpion, which is quite nice. Got a decent amount of chariot archers there. Portable battering ram is taking on the battering ram. Saves the catapult there with the priests. And now this guy's getting hit there as well. The Avenger does spin to win once again. We got some delicious hippopotamus, or as Patrick Star would say, they're in fact giraffes. No, that was the elephant. Never mind. Massive number of great rolls. I don't know what upgrades these spearmen will have, but they need to be at least heavy spearmen. We've got some mercenaries deployed in the field. They are also a variant of the spearmen. Those need the town center there. And those about boiling oil has been researched. There's an army here engaging. Red's going to take some time to defend this area. Trader is firing over now the town center or settlement being built upon. Villagers have migrated and have been pulled back from the gold deposit. And Red still has some gold here, not too much though. 300. More Avengers being deployed in the field. Very good idea.
Into you.
Copper shields being researched. He's not fighting against anything that involves range teams other than some vacation fortifications. I don't think copper shields or bronze shields is a really good idea. Blue does fall back there. Priest engagement got a nice spin to win there by the Avenger, killing off some of these units. That does have. Apparently, the Avenger can be affected by ballistics. I have no idea why he can be affected by ballistics. Improves tracking for ranged units. Apparently, ballistics just apparently affects everything. If it doesn't do anything, but I think they just don't bother trying to limit what units get affected by ballistics, because if it does nothing, it means nothing. When you're always going through, they have no bonus damage.
Good.
And Freyr still age 3. A lot of spins and wins here. He does use force fire there. Really take a bit of damage here. And these Avengers were actually pretty good right there. They of course have gone down. Those are now at 80 some villagers. Red is at 73. Farms, E-I-E-I-O.
In which? Into you.
We do have this upgrade on the Spearmen. Spear of Horus, give them bonus damage and extra damage. So Spearmen are pretty decent. Yes, of course, went for Anubis, which gives them Plague of Serpents, which does not include the Poison Spear, though the Poison effect is really not that useful. It's really not a great upgrade in my opinion. Oh, we just got incendiary arrows there. Very nice. We also right now have 51 pierce armor. Does have bronze weapons. Iron weapons just been researched by Red. And we've also got champion chariot archers. Blood control is being researched. Got heard another monument. Multiple monuments going up here for the set cost reduction. Wonder if I can highlight, see how much cost reduction. Nope. I always forget how much the cost reduction is. That's probably just 10%, isn't it? Still more medium spearmen needs. I want to see heavy infantry. We're now the age up here, going with Vidar, which is a self-propelled howitzer made by originally in South Korea. No, wait, wrong game. This is not War Thunder. Gives an access to the Fafnir, as well as the Inferno. Iron shields doesn't need it. Ballistics course being researched.
Into you.
My apologies, give me more. I'm gonna reach that and grab a drink. Miggle Stronghold now under siege. And got more marksmen out by Red. My apologies, heard my drink open up. We got some more heavy Jarls being pulled in field. A number of catapults here. Still, we do actually have heavy spearmen now. Very good. Watch if you have the champion spearmen. Does lose the Miggle Stronghold. We got another Gobi here, which are of course the range infused there, which does make the pierce armor a bit more useful. Spearmen do actually move faster than the chariot archers, so they're a good unit to accompany the chariot archers, or should I say chariot archers would be a good unit to accompany the spearmen. We got some spearmen here. We got another tempest being summoned. Inferno is available. Here comes the Inferno. Also being summoned to hit over here. Takes out one of the monuments. Got another monument nearby to provide a cost reduction to some of these units. Villagers did get hit pretty hard there. We got another Serpent Spear, gives that poison damage, but not that useful. Alright, his front line's broken. He's lost a lot of military units here. Not doing quick enough, in my opinion. Alright, and I think also I can say objectively. And Red has now resigned. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.